Okay, so this is the first problem. So what you want to do is take the smaller one, 2x plus 2y equals negative 10, and solve this problem for y so that you can plug it in to this problem, the top one. Okay, so first step in solving, what you want to do is minus 2x from the side that y is on. So on both sides you have minus 2x. So now it is 2y equals negative 2x minus 10. Next step is what you want to do is divide both sides by y's coefficient, which is 2. So, divide this side by 2, divide this side by 2. Now what you have is y equals, this is negative 2x divided by 2, which means that's going to be a negative x. Okay, now that negative represents 1. 1 times x will still be negative x. So just pretend that there's a negative 1 there. Negative 10 divided by 2, negative 5. So now you have y equals negative x minus 5. So you're going to plug this in to this problem up here to get what x equals. Now that you have what y equals. Okay. So now you're going to spread out 6x minus 5y equals 14. Now this is the part where you substitute. You take the y part in this equation, and you're going to write 6x minus 5 times that part, which is negative x minus 5 equals 14. Okay. Now, what you want to do is take this portion of the problem and distribute this negative 5 into the parentheses, which means you're going to get a positive, because a negative times a negative is positive. So you're going to get positive 5x, and you're going to multiply this times this. So what you did first is times the x, and you're going to go times the 5. So negative 5 times negative 5 equals positive 25 equals 14. Now, this is where you want to group like terms. 6x and 5x are like terms, so you can add them together, which will equal 11x, because 6 plus 5 is 11. So now you have 11x plus 25 equals 14. Okay? And what you want to do is get this negative 25 over here. And to do that, you want to minus by 25 on both sides of the equal sign. That's what I mean when I say on both sides. You want to get it on both sides of the equal. So now you have 11x equals, thank you, 11x equals whatever, 14 minus 25. So what you want to do is the 25 minus 14, which is going to equal 11. Negative 11, because 14 positive is smaller than the negative 25. So when you minus a positive by a negative, and the negative is bigger, it's going to be a negative number. So that's why this is negative 11. So 11x equals negative 11. X still has a coefficient, which means it did not completely solve yet. So you want to divide both sides by positive 11. And you now have x equals negative 11 divided by 11 is negative 1. So now that you know x equals 1. It's the first part of the problem. Now you want to come back up to the top. Now it's time to get y. this is how you figure out the next part of what y actually equals. So now you have, you want to plug this x equals -1. Plug this x equals -1 into the next problem. Okay, so you have 6x minus 5y equals 14. So you plug in this x plus 1 down here. You plug this x equals -1. You plug that into this. So you would write 6 parentheses -1 minus 5y. And what you're doing in this problem is solving for y. So now 6 times -1 is -6, and then you have the rest of the problem. Minus 5y equals 14. So you want to add 6 on both sides, which is going to equal -5y equals 20. So since this is a -5 on the coefficient, you want to divide both sides by -5. Which is going to equal y equals 20 divided by -5, -4. So there you have it. X equals -1, y equals -4. And those are your answers.